now. Alright, got that work thing all done. Heading back to the truck. I got, as my camera strap falls in your face, I got my workout clothes on. We are going to hit the gym. It's pretty wild looking. Stack pipes. That's different. Cool. We're gonna need some heat in this place, because boy, I got a story for you, and we got work to do. First, I gotta get my new supplies out of the car. New creeper, make life easier. And a new low profile jack, because some of my cars are too damn short. Sounds like my truck closed. So, 3-ton low pro jack. And a couple of jack stands. That way I'm freaking safe. Alright, I'm going to move focus. I'm going to push the lawnmower, the motorcycle out of the way. We'll get this stuff put together. We're going to jack up and get the car up on block. And we're going to start pulling parts off. I'll explain why in a minute. Let me tell you, don't let the lack of a jacket fool you. It's freaking cold. Right now I think it's 30, 34-ish. Those days, I see. One day, I'll fix this garage door opener because it pulled out up here. And now it doesn't want to work right. First, we're going to fire up this heater. I don't think it'll be too loud, but just to be sure. I'm going to fill it up first. See if we can get ourselves some heat. That should help with the chill. Now, to give you all the story, that you're probably wondering what in the hell I'm doing. Matt's playing a travel hockey team. And this team is not in our local like it used to be. Because our local team wasn't able to make a complete team at the time. With that being the case, we had to make some sacrifices. Those sacrifices include driving to a team that is an hour and 20 minutes away from home. An hour and 20 minutes away, and I think it ends up being like 60 some odd miles, give or take. I'm driving my Explorer and I love it to death, but it gets 16 maybe, and all this driving is killing me. We looked into cars. We were debating whether we wanted to buy another vehicle and get rid of a few. We didn't find anything we liked. After a pretty good amount of back and forth, we decided we're keeping what we got and we're fixing what we got. And that means I'm glad I didn't part out the SVT. I took the interior out of the green Focus and put it back in the car. I did a lot of cleanup on the interior. I have to do a few more things, but I got it all cleaned up inside. I gotta put the radio back in, but the subwoofer didn't work right, so I have to look at something on that. But overall, she looks like a Focus again. You see the SVT gauges and all that, and we're not getting rid of it. I was going to part it out, use the parts on the green Focus. It was back and forth on a bunch of things, but I can't buy another one, so we are just fixing it. So, with that story being the case, obviously I'm not going to worry about bodywork at the moment because I got way too much of that. It's really freaking cold outside, so I can't really work on the big truck. And after my trip down to Pittsburgh, where I bought my first pair of Vans because I needed better shoes for work. I can dig those. And these kids just aren't surviving like I would have hoped. So I picked up a pair of Vans. See if I like them. But in the purchasing realm, because I'm going to be working on that gal again, I had to pick up all this stuff. Not these, they were sitting there, but number one, I needed to get a jack because I have this one, which quit working, and that one, which is heavy and doesn't fit under my cart because you can see how tall it is. So I went and spent money, and I got a good 3-ton low pro that should fit under this car and my Super Coupe when we're ready to work on it. I also have a big plan to clean up a bunch of here, but all in time, I got to make room. I got to get things out so I can move things around. And this car here, I don't want to risk making it worse by running it again. So we're going to pull, well, we're going to get this opened up. We're going to pull the bumper, the grill, the headlights, and apparently a grill knob for something. So the headlights, which I'm going to have to buff and polish. The bumper's going to come off, which we're going to try and do some repair to. The grill's going to come out. I'm probably going to pull this out just to get it out of the way. All this has to come off, which exposes the transmission. And then this has to come off. And I just have to make room so I can see everything. Technically, this is supposed to come out the bottom. I don't know if I can get it high enough with these jack stands to make that happen. But we're going to try. If not, we'll make enough room and we'll just yank it up through the top. But I'm preferring to drop it out through the bottom safely. So we'll get the top cleared off. Then we'll get the wheels pulled off so we can get the CV shafts out. And work on everything underneath. And then the last step after underneath is this motor mount bolt. And there's a transmission bolt under here. And then obviously the other one I can take off, but it's like a torque mount. And in the midst of this, we're going to see about getting better upgraded mounts. Maybe solid rubbers or urethanes, just to make it a little bit better. But we're going to do upgrades as we can afford. But I really need to get this car back on the road because it gets almost 30 on the highway. And comparatively to 16, it's going to pay for itself in no time flat. So, hang on, stay tuned. Let's get this stuff unpackaged and we'll start getting the car up in the air. disconnected. Where's this going? I don't even know what that is. Okay. That handles that. See, what we're doing is I'm going through and I'm making sure everything's disconnected that I can get disconnected from the top, except for the engine mounts. So I'm going through, I'm checking all the wiring, making sure that's all copacetic, getting everything disconnected. You know, what can stay, and what stays in the car, stays in the car. And then we're going to get this pulled apart right here. That's one of the main wiring harnesses, which I believe stays with the car. Yes, that stays with the car. So, where we're at right now is I got battery box, air box. Been working on the wiring. You can see I got this opened up now. I got this loose, but I didn't pull it out yet. That is the I think I need the Steves. That's the hydraulic line for the hydraulic clutch right here, which I'm not even sure how good the clutch is in this car. I mean, it always worked, but I bought it used. We could tear this thing apart and find a bad clutch too. Sure, Cindy has driven it, so we'll see what happens there. I got this side started. I got this stuff pulled off. I have to pull this power steering line here. It goes down under, and it's a pain in the butt. It goes underneath and connects right here. So you can swivel this and, you know, try and get it with a shorty wrench maybe, but that'll be a pain in the butt. Got this top cover off a while ago. You can see with the SVT, they have a hydraulic actuated intake. So this is what makes the difference. This and its higher compression. So the SVT actually runs a higher compression, zero clearance engine. So with it being an interference engine, you blow a timing belt, you blow ahead. On a standard Ford Focus ZX3 with the DOHC, you blow a timing belt, you're usually pretty safe. So, you know, give and take, as long as you maintain them, they're okay. And once I'm done with this whole teardown, it should be good for another 80 grand or so. Let's hope. I got half the lines disconnected. I do have to grab a fuel line disconnect from my dad's because I don't have one here. This one vacuum line is being a pain in my butt. I do have that disconnected. This is the block heater. Told you I had to sneeze. This is the block heater, so I gotta make sure that's routed right. But I don't know how much further I'm going to get tonight because I'm doing a lot of this crazy, stupid stuff. And, woo! So, like, this line has to come off. That's going to be a pain. My vacuum line. But oh, goodness. So when we come down here, this is where it gets interesting, because this has been disconnected here before. So I put this all together with new bolts and everything, so that shouldn't be a problem. Well, with the fact that the motor has to come through the bottom, this catalytic converter will be in the way. So we're probably going to have to disconnect it back here and try and get this catalytic converter up and over and out, or whatever. Looks like there might be bolts up there. So I might have to disconnect it either up here or back there, if you can see, or it could be pitch black. I don't know. And then we have this mount here. And Anything else? Oh, CVs. CV's got to come out. So I have to tear the wheels off, get the CVs off, get those swapped around. Antifreeze AC unit will have to come off. Just a lot of stupid stuff. I think this exhaust is going to be the worst part. Everything else is just like time consuming. This exhaust is going to be a pain. But it was before, so, you know, there's that. Oh well. See how much more I can do tonight, and then we'll head out tomorrow. It's like 30 degrees out here, so I fired up the bike. She was not happy. Think about it, this bike was never a warm-blooded character. Oh, I got a leaking bowl over here. Yeah, I got a gas leak up there. Oh, we're gonna have to fix that next. Looks like it's actually coming from the crossbar. The crossfill, that's not good. That's a pain in the neck to fix. No. We'll deal with that later. I just wanted to get it running because of the cold. In the meantime, we're going to go back on the SVT and see how much further I can get today. We're going blessing in disguise on this rod knot because I'm finding some bad wires too. I'm going to have to hit up Junkyard, see if I can find this plug and see about rewiring this. I found a bad wire there. On the coil wire, I found a broken wire that goes to somewhere. I don't know where. So we're going to have to actually go through. Definitely going to have to go through the wiring on it. Oh, here it is. I don't know where that one goes. But there's a broken wire there. 2 on an oxygen sensor. I mean, we might be able to fix a whole magnitude of problems. Yeah, blessing in disguise. Back to work. Okay, so keys, phone, old phone. Leave that. Close this. Big mess. I'm working on getting a roll off because half that stuff's gonna go. But I almost have the engine out of the focus. I would have recorded more, but my camera went dead, and I didn't know it. So, never said I was a pro at this. We gonna head over. Hold that thought. Hi, buddy.
Hi.
I have a very important question to ask you, love.
Yeah, because your wallet's in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Can you check the center console?
Can I what?
Open up center console and check. No, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
No, I know you're right. I've seen it already.
Oh, great. Where you at?
On my way back to PA.
Okay, what area?
Canfield.
Well, either way, I can meet you somewhere. You want to meet at like the township building?
Are you already there, or?
No, I'm at home.
Then I'll just come home.
Okay. Well, I didn't want you to be out of your way.
It's fine.
All right. Love you.
Bye.
We'll wait for the wallet, and then we'll go. We'll start the car. Alright, so out of Harbor Freight, heading back to the garage. I got my fuel line disconnect tools that I needed so bad. And I grabbed some WD-40 rust penetrant, even though I prefer, I usually prefer PB Blast. But we'll take what we can get. We'll see how the WD rust penetrant works, because I never tried it. But standard WD is not technically a rust penetrant, it's a lubricant. In case you didn't know that. Back we go. I'll spray the motor mount bolts. Spray the motor mount bolts. And then we'll go ahead and get towards the fuel line, get it disconnected, and hopefully be able to start dropping that engine. I got the shifter cables and everything are disconnected. They came off relatively easy. I was surprised, because the ones on this car fought me to the end. So we're gonna work our way through it, you know, make it work. Back to the garage. There we go. Push in, pull off. That is how you release a gas line on a Ford. I can twist up, get it out of the way, and good news. I think we're about ready to pull an engine. I'm torn between bringing the car down, trying to set the motor on the ground, and then going to each side and trying to lift the car up, which I could bring the other jack here to do that. The other option is to try and balance the engine on a single jack and hope for the best. Honestly, don't know which way's best. Transmission's pretty heavy though. I think the safer bet, because we don't have a lift, is going to be bringing the car down. So we'll get the other jack, put it on that side, put it on driver's side and passenger side, jack it up, pull the jack stands, bring the car down to where we can get the motor darn close to the ground, if not on the ground. And we'll grab like a wheel dolly. See about bringing it. The problem I see with that is the exhaust is being a pain in my butt and it's hanging. So if I go with the jack tight and just drop it down, I can kind of navigate it past that exhaust. I'm going to look at it, I'm going to decide which way I decide to go, and we're probably just going to send it. cut this for now, and we'll figure out why it's here and go from there. This is why some people should not work on their cars. It's empty. This got to come up and out. Oh, this got jammed up. So we'll have to fix that. But that's done. And that's pretty awesome. Pretty freaking awesome. And, you know, as I sit here and look at the engine that's sitting on the ground and I'm going to rebuild, I could almost drop and build a custom K-member for this, and I may have a 4.6 out of a Mountaineer just chilling in the back of a truck. I'm not going to, but it's an idea. So, all this will get cleaned up. Paint will be touched up if it needs, like if I find any rust, but most of it's probably just clean up. I'm going to check all of this stuff and find out what's leaking, because massive oil there, chunk of oil there. We're going to go through and we're going to scrub this, and this is going to be like nice when we're done. Now, our next big battle is gonna be, oh, grab that. Our next big battle is going to be making this engine mobile. So that means I'm gonna have to take the transmission off, which has a bunch of bolts through it. And this is where, I'll see if I can pull up some old video of when I did the MTX 75 in my green Focus, but this 6-speed is huge compared to it. I mean, this 6-speed jet drag is insanely big compared to the standard. And I think while we have it out, I'm going to see about replacing these. Those are starting to look a little sad. And it doesn't have a huge amount of play, but it's got some. So, and then this is forward and back. This is in and out. And that's reverse. Pretty cool. But yeah, I think we'll have to replace this bushing here. And I think there's one in here also. So we'll look that up while we're in here. Oh, where did that wire go? Okay, so it goes into the wiring harness for some odd reason. But we gotta get all these out. We gotta get the starter out. And get this transmission off. We'll see how that goes. Woo! All right, time for some upgrades in the garage.